All right, everyone, welcome back to the Brad and Kyle channel, and today we're going to be discussing the push away and what some good things are and some bad things are about it. Stay tuned.
All right, everyone. So when we talk about the push away, there's some overall concepts that we need to be aware of. But as far as I guess the correct push away goes, it's very subjective to everyone because pretty much every player has a little bit of a different push away and does a little bit different based on their biomechanics. But there are some basic concepts that we want to kind of keep aware of that do remain consistent throughout a lot of bowlers. So Brad, talk about a little bit of what that concept is.
So I've seen some coachings in the past that really promote a large push away. A guy that comes to my mind is Bill Straub from Nebraska. If you watch a lot of the girls bowlers from Nebraska, they have these large push aways. And I can't necessarily disagree with that because it has worked for him in that program and probably a few other people. But I actually think, discussing with Kyle, that I would go on the opposite end and say less a lot of times is more. And what I mean by that is when you get this large push away, you're basically disconnecting the ball from your body. And I'm not saying you can't make it work, but it definitely makes it a little bit more difficult. If you can keep that ball closer to your body, you can have better synchronization between the ball and your body, which is essentially the whole goal of the approach, is to keep everything in rhythm and in sync. And I definitely know, competing against the guys on tour, that we don't see very many large push-aways.
No.
Everything is very, very simple, and you can still have power and a high backswing with a pretty small and mediocre push-away for the goal of just keeping everything tight and everything smooth. So Kyle, I see you got a ball in your hand.
Yeah.
Let's demonstrate a little bit, a couple of the different, well, what you do specifically, and then maybe what a couple of different ways to go about the push away are.
Yeah, I mean, first off, when I think of the push away, and I had a couple coaches teach me this as I was growing up, the ball, the more you extend, the heavier the ball is. So the ball, when I extend way out here, feels way heavier than if I hold it here. When I hold it here, it's a lot closer to my center of gravity, and when I'm able to keep the ball closer to my body, you're right, it doesn't feel as disconnected, and I'm able to maintain leverage the entire time. As soon as I have the ball out here, if you were to push that ball down right now, I really don't have a lot of leverage.
The ball takes over.
But as soon as I get it close to here, and if you try to push it down, you're not going to be able to push it down. And that's a concept that really sit well with my mind because, in today's game, when we're trying to maintain so much power, how can I achieve that? Well, if you're starting in a position where if you push away and you're essentially losing all your power, you're losing all your leverage, well, sometimes it's really hard to kind of regain that in the downswing.
And I think some people can kind of think the opposite, right? If you have this larger push away, it kind of allows you to create this larger, longer swing, which can generate more power. And it can, but you can also generate just as much power, if not more, by actually keeping it closer to your body as well. So if you think about it, what is the point of having this large push away if you can generate the same amount of power without having it? You're just eliminating things that you could potentially mess up.
Absolutely. And I think it's a little bit subjective to everyone, and that's where the bowling game is, because everyone's biomechanics are a little bit different. Your body's going to react and move differently, as far as like our bodies are going to move differently because we're not built the same. So when we talk about like overextending, well, if overextending for me may be right here and overextending for you may be out here, it's a little different for everyone. It's not like everyone has to have the same push away. But one thing we do see on the national tour a lot is a very, almost not even a push away. There might be a little bit of a movement forward, but a lot of times it's simply just dropping the ball and letting it fall into the swing. What happens this way is when we start talking about the timing of the push away, when you can get that ball into the swing early, you can create a higher backswing, and then you can really get your feet moving to create momentum, which then creates a lot of power. So do we want to throw a shot?
Let's throw a shot.
Check it out. Okay. You're going to see now that I have a little bit of a movement forward, but the ball is going to kind of go down, get the ball into the swing early. I'm not really overextending too far away from my body.
All right, so I want you to throw one more, And on this one, I know it's gonna feel awkward. I know.
Don't say what I do.
I want you to have a big push away. I
God.
want you to explain what you feel. Like what necessarily was the difference in your feels throughout the entire approach.
This is gonna be.
I've never seen Kyle have a large push away before, so this is gonna be epic.
I don't even know how to do this. So I'm going like out here.
Yeah, push it out there.
Oh God. Okay, here we go.
And just visually, you might have to start doing it. I actually physically saw everything was like much longer. Like the backswing went out a little bit farther away from your body. Everything covered more distance. What did you feel?
I felt very herky-jerky there as far as like, I felt like my swing had to really go forward, then back, and then forward again. Whereas opposed to my normal push away, I'm kind of just dropping it, and I feel like it's just going back from the beginning in one fluid motion and then down in one fluid motion. It also made my timing later because, like, you know, for instance, when I go pushing down here, my ball is into the swing.
Right.
Well, when I push out here, my foot's in the same place, but now my ball is way up here, and now my timing as far as my push away is later. Kind of throws everything
Yeah, and when
off.
everything gets like much longer, it's just easier to feel like you have to, because later timing, you have to feel like you have to pull it back to get it to catch up, and then you're pulling it, and then next thing you know, you're pulling it down a little bit, and there's just more things that can go wrong.
Absolutely. So that didn't feel great. It's also not what I do. But again, when we're talking about the push away, the overall concept is really not trying to overextend too much from your body, trying to keep it closer to you, using your center of gravity as a benefit, and maintaining leverage and keeping that timing so you can create the most power with accuracy that you can.
All right, guys, thank you for watching our video on the push away. I hope you can use those tips and adapt them to your game well. I want to take a quick second to really give thanks to our sponsors and the people that have helped us develop our careers and develop relationships with us as we make videos, as we become better bowlers. Storm, Turbo, Brunswick, and Bowler Depot. You guys have been fantastic to us. You're a big part of why we're able to do this. And the relationships that we've been able to build with you have been a great experience for Kyle and I. And I just want to say thank you again.
Yep, and if you guys want to check out our membership, we're giving lessons, we're giving more videos, click the link in the description. There's actually a free trial, so you can check it out. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, you can leave, and it doesn't cost you anything. So anyway, go check out the link if you want to see more coaching from us. We'll see you guys later.